Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. I hope that everything is okay with you. You're always happy and healthy with your family. Now, since we finished our exams already, now it's time for us to discuss common mistakes we were made during the finals. Okay, so I will choose questions that many of you failed to answer correctly. It will be short video because actually prior to this video I already give you hindsight of what to expect during the exams, and many of the things that I'm going to discuss today have relations with the previous video that I post. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so question 1 out of 6 that we will discuss for today. So in this question, you are given a picture and then you are asked to locate where the pollen will be deposited during the process of pollination. Okay, so remember the pollen is very small, they are microscopic, they're very light, they can carry it by the wind. Animal such as bees, butterfly can also carry them to another location, to another flower, which is very important. And then pollination itself is simply the attachment or the latching of the pollen into the stigma. Stigma is the structure indicated by the letter B in these pictures. Okay, and if you remember, I also teach you about this in our previous video. Okay, but enough with number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Okay, question number 3. You were asked to predict which part of the stems that will turn red as the stems is put into a colored water. So to answer that, we have to know what part of the stems, which responsibilities is to carry the water from the roots to the leaf. What is it then? What is the answer? Of course, xylem. Okay, so xylem has a primary function of carrying the water from the roots up to the leaf above. Okay, and it means if the water is tainted red, the xylem will turn red also. Okay, so to answer this question, you have to know which one is xylem. Okay, so one striking thing that you can see in this diagram is the circular pattern of the vascular bundle. Okay, so the 6 things found in this diagram, that arrange circularly is called vascular bundle. And we have A and C, A being a xylem and C being a phloem. So what is the answer? The answer is A. Okay, so hopefully it clarifies some things. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, next question is pretty straightforward. So the question goes like this: Justin eats boiled egg. What enzymes that help Justin to digest those eggs? So to answer this, we have to understand what nutrients found in an egg. Okay, so if you crack open an egg, you find the egg whites and the yolk, the yellow one in the middle. So the yolk rich in fats and the egg whites rich in proteins. So we just have to pair this information with the correct enzyme that will digest each type of the nutrients. We have list of options, and the correct one is the lipase and pepsin. So lipase will digest the lipid or the fat, and the pepsin is one of the enzymes required in breaking down the proteins. Okay, so the answer should be C for that reason. Okay. Okay, into the next question. Based on the lab test, the urine of certain individuals contain protein. Now, this is not normal, and you were asked to predict what caused this abnormality. Okay, so in order to answer this, you have to know the steps of urine formation. The first steps of urine formation is filtration, if you remember. So in filtration, the blood will enter the glomerulus. Glomerulus is actually just the extension of blood vessels, just the extension of capillary. The difference is the glomerulus is much more permeable. It means it will allow more material to escape from the glomerulus. Okay, the material that is escaped from the glomerulus will then be contained within the Bowman's capsule, and then will go to the subsequent pipes, quote unquote. Okay, like or the tubules. Now, what kind of things that can escape the glomerulus? Water is one thing, because water molecules is tiny, but also many things that is dissolved in the water. It includes sugar and then salt and many other chemicals that is water solubles can escape from glomerulus. Now, what about proteins? Now, proteins is very big. Okay, it means that normally protein cannot escape the glomerulus. They will stay in the blood vessels. Okay, so you normally don't find them in the urine. So it means to answer this question, or the answer for this question is glomerulus. Okay, the filtration process is faulty because it allows protein to enter the glomerulus or the Bowman's capsule. So that's the answer for number 13. Okay, question number 14. Explain what happened between day 16 to day 28 on a menstrual cycle. Remember that on day 14, there is ovulation. It means now, after the body releases the egg, they expect that the egg will be fertilized, and in order to receive those fertilized egg properly, they will keep building the wall of the uterus lining. They will keep making them thicker and then enrich them with blood vessels. So when the zygote finally successfully form, and then it latch itself into the uterus is ready to support the baby. Okay, so for me, number 14, the answer is B. And then what happened after day 28? Menstruation. If nothing happened, or if the fertilization doesn't happen and the baby is not viable, it means now the thick wall of the uterus will be shed. Okay, will be disintegrate into the events we known as period of or menstruation. Okay. Okay, last question. A girl start to having the period on June 4. Remember that in our table, the start of the period happens on day 0, and 14 days later, ovulation begins, or ovulation happens. So it means if our girl in this question begin having period on June 4, means 14 days later, on June 18, she will have the ovulation. Okay, even though it's not very eventful in human, you cannot feel that you just lay the eggs or something, not release the egg, but it happens 14 days after the start of menstruation begins. Okay guys, that's everything that I have to say for today. I hope that you can take care of yourself, stay safe, stay healthy, and until we meet again. Okay, God bless you.